if you look at some of the biggest edtechs, in many cases, again, there have been, in a few cases, there have been allegations on probably, selling to customers by providing loans. And in some cases, they probably were not in a condition to pay back the loans. And there were also, allegations of aggressive selling or mis-selling in a few cases. And this has taken a lot of the real estate when it comes to education or edtech specifically last few months. And the government also has been vocal about this. They've set up the self-regulation board. There are regular reports coming out, but still there seems to be a gap in terms of how customers are looking at it. Recently, I think the Advertising Standards Council came up with a report on edtech ads as well, right? They were trying to analyze what kind of ads are coming out and what is prioritized and what is not. So do you think this is a conversation where policy would come in, or do you think enough has been done and the companies have to figure this out on their own? How do they build trusted brands in education? Because trust is at the center point when it comes to something like education.
So first thing is EdTech is a really important part to the solution of a country like India, where cost, quality, and quantity are the impossible trinity, right? So I think EdTech as a sector is not a magic solution, but it is an important part of the solution to India's literacy, numeracy, soft skills, hard skills challenge. But drunk driving is not an argument against cars, right? If you have drunk drivers, you don't ban cars on the road. You figure out how to issue licenses. You figure out how to have safety standards. See, education is always a sector where there will be asymmetry of information between the buyer and seller, right? Kids who are buying edtech or parents who are paying for edtech just don't know about the quality till it's too late, which has always been true. So, consumer protection is an important part of financial services mis-selling, why we have RBI, why we have so many other institutions in financial services, because in healthcare and in financial services, mis-selling was recognized early as something that the government had a role to stop. I think mis-selling in edtech has happened. I think it's much lower than it was. It was a child of the steroids which markets were on. I think everybody was hormonally imbalanced. Everybody wanted to do in sort of blitz scaling as a concept. You do in 1 year what you should do in 20 is probably the wrong way to think about education. The youngest university in the top 100 universities is 60 years old. Education takes a long time to build. So I think obviously there should be a backlash. There has been a backlash. I hope we don't sort of throw out the good with the bad. But clearly, the bad was being financed by money which is no longer available. So some of the mis-selling has stopped. But EdTech is an important, in a country where we have to reach 5,000 cities and towns, we have 6 lakh villages with less, of which 2 lakh have less than 200 people. You can't take jobs to people, you have to bring people to jobs. But if you can take education to people rather than bringing people to education, you really increase the infrastructure of opportunity. So I think EdTech, the first phase of it has not bathed itself in glory, but usually, the first phase is the cowboy phase. And now I think the mature adults who recognize that, look, it takes 20 years to build a great business are starting to become the players that matter.